After all, computers crash.
We're ravers in our 30s.
I'm never going to another party ever again. In your 30s? Computer says no. Okay.
I told you I don't like origin stories. I don't like.
Yeah.
You know, when they rebooted Spider-Man, I feel like it was so cool that they didn't start. Oh no, he got bitten by a spider. And that's how it started.
Okay. Yeah.
Started in the middle of the dilemma.
Okay.
So we're gonna start in the middle of
The dilemma.
story.
Oh.
How is your week going?
My week has been an amalgamation of things.
Mm-hmm.
It has been stressful.
Yeah.
Because of work. We love work. Busy is better than broke, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always try and say that to myself. But busy is better than broke, but breaks are essential as well, you know? So I have not been taking breaks, and so I've been burning out and had a young little minty bee this week.
Yeah.
Gang.
How'd you get out of it?
I saw my boyfriend.
Okay.
He came to my house. He bought me some fat food.
Aww.
Yeah. And then we kind of just watched a movie, and then I fell asleep.
And you woke up fine.
And I woke up fine. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, everything gets a little bit overwhelming, and I have to remind myself that it's going to be okay, because I am the type of person where things tend to feel like they're the end of the world sometimes. So yeah, that's kind of how my week was. It was just, I say yes to so many things, and at the same time I'm a people pleaser because I don't want to disappoint people and whatever, and then I end up hating myself down the line, not only because I'm disappointing people, but because I'm also tired.
Yeah.
You know,
And you need to listen to your body.
dude, and that is a wild thing about getting older. You can't just be like, nah, because you feel the repercussion.
No, you can't run. You can't run a sprint anymore.
Don't. Why? Why are you screaming?
There's this friend of mine that said you can tell somebody's age by how long they take. Or rather, if you were to challenge them to a 100-meter dash, you judge their age by how long they grown before they start running. Not how fast they're actually running, just how long they take to get to the point, because they're thinking about the pain that they're going to be in afterwards.
Yeah, that does. You see how it's grown? That was probably how long I'd grown.
But you're not that old.
No, but like,
You're
okay.
not in your 30s yet.
No, I'm not. Yeah. But I'm at the age where like 20-year-olds go, oh, she's in her late 20s. Like, you know, like she's
Let's start fixing things for before we get to 40.
You know, I'm at that age in my 20s where my family's going, why aren't you married yet? You know?
What's the reply?
Why aren't you married yet?
Not.
Why aren't you married, bro? My dad's like, it was a difficult time when I was your age. Oh, but get married. No, but it's a weird thing because I still play competitive hockey and stuff like that. So, I mean, this year I tore my hamstring at the beginning of season, literally the day before trials. I tore my hamstring, and then I was like, we're fine. And then I tore my calf. And it was quite a wake-up call.
Have you come out fully?
Yeah, I have. Both of them I was out for the calf I was out for about 4 weeks because it was a minor tear. It was like a really bad strain, minor tear. But the hamstring was like, the toughest thing was going to the toilet because I couldn't even sit. But it was a wake-up call because, I mean, shit, I thought stretching was a myth. I thought doing a warm-up.
Did you start pulling out the resistance band?
I didn't do anything. I got to the game when we were going to play, and I was like, put me on, coach. Put me on. And I went on, and I went, boom, and I fell immediately, and I tore my calf. I was just like, shit. That's a thing.
And it's a visceral feeling as well, right?
My whole leg vibrated. And so the hamstring, I heard a pop, like but my finger it felt my calf. at that, but I've kind of been embracing it. I mean, the other day, it was really sunny, which is odd for Cape Town in winter, because I just thought we had two personalities, which was pouring with rain or this wind.
This winter is not going away.
No, it's not, right? So I'm standing there and I'm outside, and then the sun's out, and my friend messages me and says, hey, so we're going to go to the beach. And I was like, nah, dude, it's a perfect day to do washing. That is when I knew.
You're such a grown person.
I'm getting old. I turned down going out to do laundry.
The sun is shining, the wind is blowing.
Perfect day.
We can get at least 2 loads done.
Three if I'm lucky. If I'm doing all my gym clothes, 3. You know? So yeah, it's that's how my week has been.
Yeah. I mean, 2 weeks ago when we had a function together, and we were working together for about a week, and I called you on the Sunday. And was like, where are you? Oh no, playing hockey. Yeah, it was the first time I found out that you do this.
Oh, really?
Because I thought it was, okay, cool. It's the social media, it's the content, it's the acting.
Yeah.
It's the voiceover work now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
And stand-up.
And the stand-up. The stand-up for me is it's interesting because it feels like it's a natural progression, but it's also like she does that too.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
My best friend pushed me and I fell onto a stage with a mic in my hand. My best friend is a stand-up. Give this type of gift to the people. And
in a live situation.
Yeah. And I am a true believer in people needing to follow their gifts and do what they're good at and their talents and stuff and give back to their communities. So, I mean, I've been doing it for 8 months now, 9 months. I went through moments where it was really tough and I didn't enjoy it. I went through moments where I was like, this isn't sustainable.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm killing it. And I think it's because I'm finally having fun. I'm finally letting go of, because I mean, whenever I go into something, I always go into something with a little bit of a strat. You know this. I've told you how I started with Constantia Mom and stuff. There was always a method to the madness. Yes. And then and this is something cool for the viewers, especially whenever you have a plan, once you've gotten really good at your craft, fuck the plan. Then you can play. Then you can
at that point.
Yes. Then you can tap dance. Then you can be Eminem in 8 Mile. You know, you can lose it and you can properly have fun with it. And so I'm at the point in stand up now where I'll say to Nina, okay, tonight I'm going to try and riff a little bit more, or tonight I'm going to do a little bit more crowd work, which if you had asked me 9 months ago, do that, I'd be like, no, I'm not even going off book, you know? So,
but that comes with practice. Practice builds the confidence. The confidence comes with being able to, you spot the body language of the audience.
You read the room, totally. But also, I think you don't care if they laugh or not. That's not a reflection on who you are. Totally a reflection on how funny you are, which is a reflection of who you are. But I mean, in the greater scheme of things, you win some, you lose some.
I mean, I've always felt that great comedy is comedy that the next person can relate to.
Yeah.
Because if I've got a bunch of niche interests, what's the reference for the next person? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of relates to, I mean, with the comedy, with the content, is knowing that your audience at least has one thing in common with you.
Yes.
There's something that you both have. You've walked some kind of path together and had a common experience.
Yes. I think that's with most things, though. I think that I find when it comes to likability, it comes down to the crux of, can people see me as their friend?
Yeah.
Or can they see themselves in me? And a great way of knowing this is, I find when you read a book, you always have a liking for the main characters because you see yourself in them. You're like, oh, that's me. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched a movie and you've said to your wife, like, That's you. That's you. Or that's me. That's that likability, because you see yourself or you see a loved one in a character. And the other form of likability is going, shit, I could be friends with this person.
Yeah.
I could see myself doing something like this. And so if you can explore those two avenues with any type of content, I think people will like you. And naturally, if you think about it all the way back when you were in school, the likable person in the class was always funny. Because you just had, like, okay, when you had a crush on someone, when you had a crush on one of the boys, well, you, one of the girls, whatever, they could say something so outlandish, and you'd be like, oh my God.
Laugh your damn head off.
But it's because you like them.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I find that the goal is not to speak about things that you think, because I mean, here we are having Drake say shit like started from the bottom, now we're here. Bitch, you grew up in a nice house in Canada with a pool. Like, do you know how many people in Canada don't have a pool? What fucking bottom did you start? Middle class? Dude, like, that is so unrelatable. So it's like people trying to have conversations where they're like, you know, fuck bitches get money, or like cars or whatever, and they try and be relatable. And I don't think it's being relatable. I think it's just being your most authentic self, because naturally the people who are like you will gravitate towards you. And when people like you, then everything you do is just A for away. So, I mean, that's what I found with comedy.
How's the world of acting going for you? Because that was always part of the plan.
Yes.
If anything, that was the plan.
That was the plan, and now here we are.
The sideways path was opening a phone and impersonating.
Yeah. Gosh. How things have changed, hey.
So you ended up where you wanted to be.
Yes.
By taking a path that I suppose you didn't.
What does Donald Glover call them? I took a side quest.
There you go. Yes, it's a side quest. Yeah.
I took a side quest.
You took a side quest and you ended up on the main path.
It's the very conversation I have with people about, so I speak to people about vertical growth versus horizontal growth. I don't know if I've spoken to you about it before, but basically we get so engulfed in this idea of vertical growth, which is we want the promotion, we want the pay, you know, we want the better job, but we'll go up in the same realm of work, right? So I used to work in casting, and I had reached my quota in casting. Like I'd capped it. The only way I was going up was if because I wanted to be involved in it. I wanted to be the director, or I wanted to be the person writing the scripts. But the only way to get promoted at this point was to either open my own company or become someone who, you know, one of the producers. And I didn't really have an interest to do that.
Because being a producer is much less of being creative.
Yes, exactly. And
the business side.
Exactly. And I'm fine to do that, but I just wasn't at that point. I was very young when I was a casting director. So I needed to be involved. I needed to be stimulated. And I think that was really important to me. But in saying so, if I had carried on with the vertical growth, I would have been very unhappy today. Yeah. So my point in this is that you don't always have to change career paths. You can say, okay, cool. So casting, directing, that was fun. Love that. Not for me. Now we move on. Now we say, what am I going to do next? Oh, let's learn how to be a writer. Let's learn how to, you know, direct and produce your own short forms and stuff like that, which I've now since I've done, and I've gone and I did short courses and stuff like that, because I mean, I really don't think in film you need a new degree every time. No. You know, so I'm self-taught, and then I did that, and I wrote a few things and started getting really into poetry and prose and stuff like that, and did a lot more work on my acting, especially going into like specializing in acting for film, not just acting, doing voiceover work, stuff like that. And because of my horizontal growth, and because of the fact that I became multifaceted, I became indispensable. Because shit, it's like when you cast me in a commercial, I can be from anywhere because I'm ethnically ambiguous. And that's the same thing that happens when you become indispensable. It's like, am I going to pay one person a salary who can do one job, or am I going to pay one person a salary who can do 5 of them, you know? So that was just my mindset. And then when lockdown hit, I was like, shit, I've got all these skills in my arsenal. How can we
put it into one place where,
Yeah.
where it represents you
Yes,
and what you're capable of.
exactly.
Okay, cool. You are indispensable.
Yes.
You are not one person getting paid to do one thing. You're one person that can get paid to do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever, however many things. How do you keep that one path of remuneration from being taken advantage of? Like, hey, Cassidy, can you do this? And then while you're busy with that, can you also just do that? Do you have to start building up a different voice for yourself that's separate, that's Cassidy, that's business, or do you just hand that over to somebody that can represent you?
I am this person in life.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe TMI, but I mean, for example, whenever I have a new boyfriend, I get all the nitty gritty weird shit out the way first, which is, have you been checked? How many partners have you had?
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Which is really important for you, your psyche and your body. Guys, go get checked, go get tested. It doesn't mean anything, but it's really important for you to know.
Yeah.
So you can make an educated decision on if you want to be in that relationship or not. The same thing applies in business. So if someone wants to work with you, it's really important before you jump at the gun to say, okay, this sounds really interested. You've caught my attention. What are the expectations?
Yeah.
When someone tells you their expectations are for you to only be a content creator,
Yeah.
cool. Then you quote them as such. The moment they start saying, oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, then you quote them. And if they're like, oh, we don't have the budget for that, then you let them know. Unfortunately, then, so, I mean, in the world of content, let's be honest, if someone can't afford your day rate or whatever you call it, your rate, then, if you're working with, let's say, a clothing company, you say maybe with the amount that you can't afford, you can give me that in product. Yeah. Something like that where you can, make it work.
We can work
do the compromise. Yeah. But if it's not like that, then you need to just call a spade and say, I can't give you 3 videos, I can give you 1. You need to, the moment you let them take advantage of you, they will never be able to take you seriously, because it's like, oh yeah, but she's that girl that did it for free. Yeah. And now all of a sudden you want to start charging people. They're not going to be able to be like, because they know that you did it for free.
Yeah, I mean, there's also this, for a newer, I don't even know if you can call it like a newer content creator, but somebody that's just stepping into this, they might have that fear without reference to the industry, without having dealt with a creative agency, with a brand, with all of that, to go and say, no, but if I say no, they're not going to ask me.
That's true.
We've had this conversation before at our workshops, and it's tough to get to that point where you actually have that little handshake moment with yourself and say, actually, no, thanks.
I think this is going to sound so airy-fairy, so Cape Town of me. I think people's relationship with money needs to change. Money is an energy. It comes and goes. If you attach a bigger, like, feeling to it, or if you give it more than what it actually is, it can take over your world. So I always tell myself, like, get the nice shoes, buy the cheesy meal, just fart all the way home type thing. Like, do the things that make you happy, because by letting go of that money, you have more space to welcome in the next thing, right? So yes, it is incredibly daunting to tell someone no, because it's an easy $500. Yeah. But what you don't know is that you could be closing a door to a client that's got 50,000 Rand for you, because now not only is it maybe a competitive person or a competitive company or a competitive product, whatever it is, but it could also be over those same shoot dates where they wanted to fly you to Tokyo, but now you're stuck here doing fucking shoelace commercials, So I think you need to take a step away from the picture, because you're just a little bit too close, and you need to see it for what it is, and that is
a longer view of what
it's a marathon, not a sprint.
When we sat down with Hi, we met Steve Harvey.
Yeah, no, we did. We interviewed him.
Just casually,
Just saying.
putting that out.
It was one of the best interviews he ever did. Just saying.
It reminds me of something that he mentioned. He said, okay, cool, I've got all of this money, but it's not worth anything if I'm not having a good time.
Yeah.
If I'm not enjoying it, if the next person, if my kids, if my wife, if my family are not having a good time with me being so embedded in my world and this monetary gain that I'm getting from it, it's not worth it if I'm not present. If they're not gaining from it. And that leads me to, please tell the people what Steve Harvey's his cart looks like.
Oh, gosh. It looks like every dad's cart. It's filled with loads of brightly colored fishing pants.
Those overalls. The overalls and the boots.
We asked Steve Harvey what Steve Harvey looked like when he wasn't Steve Harvey. Drink every time I say Steve Harvey. But like, honestly, he was like, I'm so glad you asked that question. Steve he has a farm. Not a farm. He's got like...
So what do we call it? A ranch.
He's got a ranch. And he fishes. He was showing us pictures of his tractor.
Of him driving the tractor.
This was Steve. Like, it was such big dad energy. Not zaddy. It was dad energy. D-A-D, period. It was the yellow thumbs up. That was the energy he was giving. And it was literally Steve.
What was this angle?
No, dude, have you ever asked your parents to send you a photo when they're on holiday? Why do they only think underneath their chin is the only...
Showing nothing of the actual location.
And you know what? They'd rather show you them in the photo than turn the camera around. They'd rather be like, can you see?
Can you see?
Can you see? No, Mom, turn the camera around. How do I do that? And you just see her like wrinkles real close. But like, yeah, Steve Harvey was wild, bro. He is like every other dad.
Yo, I hate it. Yo, the neurons don't like it. There's something that puts people at ease on that day, and it was something that I couldn't put my finger on it. Is that something that puts people at ease are people like you and me. And I've never figured it out. I think it's an excitement about creativity.
Yeah.
It's like, this is fun. I'm happy to be here.
But it's like when you figure out what people like and then you get them to talk about it. I can watch people talk about what they're passionate about for hours, even though I cannot stand fishing. Let's talk about it.
But it's fun for you.
Yes. But to watch someone talk about something that they are passionate about is so fun and exciting. When I started content, one of the overall themes in the comment section was, you can really tell that this is the type of person that she is because she reads differently than other influencers who are doing just, they're doing comedy skits, but they're not comedians or whatever. She was just like, the comments were like, this chick is doing what she's supposed to be doing because you can see the passion. She genuinely loves it and whatever.
It feels real.
Exactly. And when we got him to open up about the version of himself that no one sees, he was so excited to show people that he wasn't Steve Harvey, that it's just an act. And I think he's been trying to, I don't want to say he's been trying to, but I think there's been something about him, in my point of view, that it feels like he needed to tell people that for a while. I feel like he's needed to let people know, like, hey, this guy with the moustache.
He's much more than...
By the way, he keeps having to dye his moustache. Fine.
Oh, it's going to be me one day.
Yeah, it is.
After my hair falls out like you predicted.
Listen, I just say, I've dated bald men, and when I asked them about it, they were all like, apparently. So, it's your friends. Your bearded friends all tell me that...
How do you keep from getting bored, Cassidy?
How do I keep from getting bored?
Yeah, because again,
yeah,
just to be clear, and so we give context.
Yes.
Right? There are traits that you and I have that are in common, right?
ADHD.
Yes, this is doing the ASMR thing. I'm not going to do it, but people that are on this neurodivergent spectrum, because it's a big spectrum.
It is.
Right?
It is.
A lot of them pursue the chase of getting good at something. Right?
Yeah, they're hyper focused to something.
Right? And I've seen you do that. Right? Because it was content.
Yeah.
And then it's, okay, cool, we're doing comedy now.
Yeah.
I've got 8 months to be great at this.
Yeah.
Right? But then you reach a certain point and you realize, okay, cool, I am good at this now. What's the thing that keeps you from getting bored? Because now you're good at it. You're cruising. How do you keep the excitement feeding in?
Validation.
You're so good.
You're such never stop what you're doing. You're so funny. You're talented. You're gonna be a star. Like all this shit that people tell you. I love it when people tell me that. Like their go-to thing when they start is, oh my gosh, you must get this all the time. I'm so embarrassed. I love your stuff. I feel like I know you. And it's the same thing every single time without fail. And what I tell each and every one of them is, please don't feel shame for telling me this. Yeah. I'm so glad you did, because it's the only reason that keeps me going. I'd stop making content if I thought people didn't like it.
No, because there's a little voice that's going to be in your head tomorrow after you go on stage and said, actually, that was a really bad set.
100%. The other day, I was in a really cuck mood because I didn't think I did well.
Yeah.
So validation, but also then again, my love language is words of affirmation. So it does keep me from going and trying something new. I used to do Constantia Mom all day, every day. And then recently I've taken upon myself to start doing rants or casual chats or hot takes or even just stitching videos where I like flex the comedy muscle. And I've managed to actually get just as big of a viewership and engagement on those videos that I did as Constantia Mom. So we're trying something new, and because you're only going to learn or you're going to live. You're either going to thrive or what. There's no reality where you fail.
Yeah.
And I think when it works, my God, is at a rush. So I think that's...
But you've wanted to not necessarily move away, but you've wanted to decentralize Cassidy Nicholson away from Constantia Mom for a bit now.
Yes, I have. Because Constantia Mom didn't make the page. Yeah. Cassidy did. And I'm a girl named Cassidy, not Constantia Mom. And when people see me in the street, I'm not denying that I will forever be known as Constantia Mom. I built that legacy, and I know that. And there's nothing wrong with it. And every now and again, when I go back to Constantia Mom, she still slaps. She's hilarious. We love her. But I needed people to know that there was a person behind the character. I needed to ensure that I didn't turn into the 36 all gold tomatoes guy. Because I've told the story before, but he's never been able to book another role.
Yeah.
Because his performance in the how many tomatoes in a bottle of all gold, 36, was so memorable. He has never been you could not see him as a guy that drives an Audi.
Yeah.
You couldn't see him as that guy. And so I just didn't want to be a one-trick pony. My goodness, I didn't want to be that version. Because the end goal is to be an actress.
Yeah.
And I've told you this time after time, but I'm just going on side quests right now.
Side quests is how you get to the end.
100%.
That's how you build up your mana in the game of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, exactly. You got to go on your side quests, right?
You get damaged, you get healed.
Yeah.
You always come back.
Exactly. And so I think that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I just, it became so incredibly daunting that if I carried on going the way that I was going, because people loved the character, but then I would also have people go, oh, we love Constantia Mom, but I did unfollow you because she was getting too annoying. Like, she's shrill.
It has the potential to become a meme.
Totally.
And memes have a shelf life.
Totally. I don't want to be the hot tour girl.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, people are telling her like, dude, your 90 seconds of fame is over. She's coming out now with a rap album. I don't want that.
What's next for Cassidy?
Okay, I'm going to drop some bombs. What's next for Cassidy is to start giving back to the community and to start launching Cassidy as a business.
Love that.
I'm very happy with what I've been able to do in front of the camera, and I'm not going to stop doing that.
Yeah.
But I think I'd like to also do some stuff behind the camera now. And I hate that I turn into Debbie Ryan when I'm excited. Hi guys, thank you so much for coming back to the show. We really loved having you. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that, smash that like button. Smash it like smash it.
Say bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Other than what's the time, Tanda?
Yeah, I'm gonna get my Uber now.
Other than she needs to go catch a flight right now.
Yeah, literally.
This is your chance to mingle with the continent's top content creators. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now for the DStv Content Creator Awards. Saturday, 12 October, Nelson Mandela Square. You follow them on socials. Now come see them in real life. Dress to impress. Walk the red carpet and rub shoulders with the stars. Hosted by the incomparable Anele Mdoda. Hurry! Limited tickets are now available at Quicket.